the way the human mind perceives and makes meaning of reality is not static. It evolves over time, but actually over significant events that create different orders of consciousness in a developmental constructive progression that has been much studied. Maybe the most famous of these frameworks is Maslow's pyramid, whereas Maslow said that the way humans get motivated is not static. There are different reasons humans get motivated. Now, this is a highly cited psychological theory. Maslow was the president of the American Psychological Association, taught in every high school class. And yes, it's very well known that the motivation while a child might be gardening through exploration might be different than why a parent might be gardening, or a retired old elderly sage that just wants to connect to nature. So there are different motivations, and they change from psychological needs, safety, belonging, self-actualization, until self-transcendence. There are more than 100 of these models, and these, what they call orders of consciousness, don't only affect how we get motivated. For example, Kohlberg, since the 70s, there was a lot of research of how it affects moral reasoning. It's not that a person is stealing or not stealing, it's why it is stealing, and that also changes again, and interestingly enough, in these 5 or 6 different stages that have been identified. Also, entire societies anthropologically can be classified on these different scales, and cognitive complexity, of course, as well. Again, in these 5 or 6 different stages, they all line up pretty similarly, and that's, for example, the reason why 150 years ago we started to introduce age-stratified classrooms, whereas before we were all in the same classroom, but then especially with Piaget's research, we started to realize that it doesn't make sense to have 3rd graders and 8th graders in the same classroom. They should be separate, because the way, it's not only that they don't understand this, so that's the entire way they make meaning of reality evolves in different stages. That's the technical term. Also, leadership styles have been classified in this way, and that also shows you that it's not necessarily only correlated to age. It more happens with significant events that happen in your life that change the way, for example, a leader is interpreting reality and leading a group. Now, we chose one of the most established of these. As I said, there are 100 different models here. We chose one that's called ego development, which has to do with how the self-identity, the self-identification evolves